Hello, everyone. Welcome to the News Browse News broadcast. NPR reports that Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney has declared that Canada's deep economic ties with the United States are no longer a strength, but rather a weakness. In a video address delivered to the nation, Prime Minister Carney outlined his administration's strategic plans to actively diversify and expand Canada's trade partnerships beyond its traditional reliance on America. This announcement signals a significant shift in Canada's economic policy, aiming to foster greater global economic resilience and reduce vulnerabilities associated with concentrating trade relationships with a single nation. Kenneth Law, an Ontario man accused of selling lethal substances online, is expected to plead guilty to 14 counts of aiding suicide, with associated murder charges to be withdrawn. He is scheduled to appear in a Newmarket, Ontario court on May 29th for the resolution of his case. Law's lawyer, Matthew Gourlay, confirmed over the weekend that his client would enter a guilty plea to the lesser charges. Police alleged that Law operated several websites, through which he sold sodium nitrite and other items intended for self-harm, shipping them to individuals in more than 40 countries. The charges against him are connected to the deaths of 14 people, whose ages ranged from 16 to 36. The Canadian press reports that the court was instructed on Monday to cancel the dates previously set for Law's trial. For those contemplating suicide, support is available 24/7 by calling or texting 988, Canada's National Suicide Prevention Helpline. The Canadian press reports that a tragic incident unfolded at the historic Teotihuacán pyramids located an hour north of Mexico City on Monday, April 20, 2026. A gunman opened fire, resulting in the death of one Canadian tourist and injuries to 6 other individuals. Mexican authorities confirmed that the shooter later died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Among the injured were Colombian, Russian, and Canadian tourists. The local government detailed that 4 people sustained gunshot wounds, 2 were injured from falls, and 1 received help for an anxiety attack with a child also among those affected. Canadian Foreign Affairs Minister Anita Andon expressed her condolences, stating that her thoughts are with the victims' families and loved ones. Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum also addressed the incident on social media, conveying her deep sorrow and assuring that the shooting would be investigated, while her office maintains contact with the Canadian Embassy. Security officials recovered a gun, a knife, and ammunition at the scene. The Teotihuacán pyramids are a major tourist attraction, drawing over 1.8 million international visitors last year, built by ancient civilizations on the outskirts of Mexico City. Canada Post has reported a staggering pre-tax loss of $1.57 billion for 2025, a new record that nearly doubles the $841 million loss from the previous year. In a statement accompanying its annual report, the Crown Corporation cited labor uncertainty and challenges in modernizing its operations as primary reasons for the significant financial downturn. Parcel revenues alone saw a sharp decline of 32.6% due to a substantial drop in volumes during last year's labor disputes, which included nationwide strike actions. Many customers reportedly shifted to private carriers during this period. Canada Post emphasized the urgency of its transformation plan, which includes converting addresses from door-to-door delivery to community mailboxes to save hundreds of millions annually. The company also secured another $1 billion loan from the federal government to support its operations and modernization efforts. Conservative leader Pierre has accused Prime Minister Mark Carney of pushing fear in a recent address to Canadians concerning the relationship with the United States. In a 10-minute video posted on social media on Sunday, April 19, 2026, Carney stated that Canada's deep economic ties with the U.S., once a major strength, are now a source of weakness, and that Ottawa must diversify its trade. He pledged to regularly update Canadians with a frank assessment of these efforts. Poilievre, in a response video on Monday, April 20, 2026, called Carney's address strangely timed and an attempt to distract from the government's failures on inflation, housing, and trade negotiations, with the U.S. provincial leaders offered mixed reactions. PEI Premier Rob Lance criticized Carney's use of weakness, but supported diversification, while NWT Premier R.J. Simpson agreed with Carney's assessment. Ontario Premier Doug Ford and New Brunswick Premier Susan Holt also emphasized the need for trade diversification. This report is from the Canadian Press. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.